Whenever I miss a green, whatever situation I'm in, I always start with the question, can I putt it? Okay, so we've got situation number one here. What am I? I'm 1, 2, 3 paces off the green. The ground is nice and level between my ball and the green. Pretty tightly mown, so I should get a pretty similar roll on this bit of grass as I do on the green. This is definitely a putting situation. So with this one, we just read it exactly like we would a putt. We'd take into account that this is going to be a bit slower than the green surface, so we're going to hit it a little bit harder than we would a putt at the same distance. Okay, you're pretty happy with that? Had a chance to go in, pretty easy par coming up. In this situation, however, there's still a similar distance from the green, 1, 2, 3 paces, but we've got a rise to go up. We've got fluffier, grainy grass, so the grass is growing a little bit towards me. And we've got quite a bit more distance between the edge of the green and the flag than what we had before. So, 2 things here. One, if I putt this, I'm going to have to hit it considerably harder than I would have to a putt of the same distance. So you start to lose a feel for how hard you should hit it. And 2, the putter is going to put it on the ground almost straight away. It'll be in the air for a little bit, but it'll be on the ground straight away, and it'll be hitting all these little imperfections in the grain, and it'll be bumping and it'll be bouncing, and it could do anything between here and when it reaches the green. So a shot that I love to play, and it's saves me, I reckon I get up and down 75% of the time I use this club around the green, but it's choosing the right time to use it. This is the ideal situation. If this was a huge rise that went up 6 foot in the air and it was very steep, there's no way I could use this club. You see people try it, and again, it's a bit like using a putter in this situation. It just isn't going to perform the job you want it to do. I'd hit this shot on a big rise and it would bump and bobble and probably not make it up the hill. Or I'd massively overhit it. But on this situation, it's perfect. Now, the best thing I can say to people, the easiest way to imagine the shot is if you had a putt of the same distance on the green and you were using a putter, not a fairway wood, that's how hard you should hit it, because you're going to get, it's going to come off the face a bit quicker than a putter, and it's got a bit more loft on it, so it's going to get it up over this first bit of rough grass and then get the ball rolling. So as you're stood over the shot, you take a putter grip and you just imagine that you're hitting a putt the same distance as that with your putter on the green, but obviously I'm using a 5-wood. So we're just going to allow for the break again, and then we're going to hit it up there, just like a putt, only using a 5-wood. You saw how that rolled, just a little bit of loft. This one's got 18 degrees of loft on it, so it's a 5-wood, and it just lifts it up above all the grain and the imperfections, and it gives you that bit more velocity off the club face when you've got a bit of a rise to go up, and gets it rolling. Again, 1.5 feet, 2 feet away, easy par. Okay, here's another situation where using the 5-wood or fairway wood, whatever fairway wood you carry, or a hybrid, is ideal. You've got quite a lot of grass to cover here, but not much green to work with at the other end. Now, if you're like me, and my biggest weakness in my game is the basic simple chip shot. I'm okay with the complicated flop shot, the short-sided bunker shot, but the simple basic chip shot is probably what gives me the most grief in my game. Now, and I use this club to get me out of so many situations where using a wedge, I'd probably drop a shot, but using this club, it gets me up and down. This is another situation where it's absolutely perfect, because I've got a lot of fairway grass here and then a little bit of green. So the shot with a wedge is still quite a difficult shot because I've got to fly it quite a long way and then stop it quickly before the flag. But here, again, I can pretty much hit this the same power with the same power as if it was a putt of the same length on the green using my putter. So I don't know, I'm 45, 50 feet away. So I just imagine that I'm holding my putter and I've got to hit a 50-foot putt and I'm on the green. So just step up to it. Again, allow for my break. Just imagine I'm on the green and I'm holding my putter. Easy as that. Okay, so here's a situation where neither the putter or the 5-wood are going to work. And this is where decision making comes in, and it's one of the most important things with short game, and most of golf, but particularly short game, is choosing the right shot for the situation. Now when I say the right shot, I mean the shot that you can best play that is good for that situation. I don't mean you have to have all the shots in the bag, you have to be able to play flop shots like Phil Mickelson, but you have to be sensible about what shots you choose in what situation. If you look here, we've got this mound here, then we've got another big rise, and then we're up onto the green, and the green is sloping away from us. Now, for us to judge, firstly, let's try a putter. For us to judge a putter up this slope, it's just so hard. I've got to hit this so hard to get it up over these two mounds and then try to judge the right speeds to have it just rolling enough once it gets over the top there to finish somewhere near the hole or even on the green. So we'll have a go at it. You can see, no chance. Coming right back to me. Give me another go. Okay, so putters out. 5-wood. The 5-wood is probably more doable, but it's still very, very hard to judge because it's such a steep bank. And as I said earlier, this is the type of situation where even this shot probably isn't going to work. I can't use my method of I'm on the green and I'm hitting a putt the same power as a putt on the green because the slopes and the grain and the imperfections in the ground just don't allow me to do that. So we'll give it a go and see what happens. Go, go! Now that one has just clambered up onto the green, but it's probably 35, 40 feet away and was very close to rolling back down again. Really, sometimes you just got to man up and realise the situation requires a wedge and you've got to fly the ball up onto the green. Now here's a 50-50 situation. This is definitely not a putter because I'm too far from the green, but it's reasonably flat. There's one little sort of undulation to go over here, and it's all very closely mown. And the green is quite shallow with a rise up to it, and then it sort of slopes away when it gets there. So this is one of those where you could use a wedge, you could use a 5-wood. It really depends on the day, for me, how I'm feeling. If my short game feels good and I feel like I'm nipping more wedge shots, I'll probably use a wedge from here. So what we're going to quickly do here before it gets dark is we're going to have a little competition. We're going to have 5-wood versus the lob wedge. I've marked up 3 balls with W for the wedge, and the rest are plain. So I'll hit the 5-woods first, and then we'll add up the total distance from the hole for the 3 balls with each club, and we'll see which one wins from here. First one with the 5-wood. It's a long way away, but I'm still imagining that I'm hitting a putt at this distance. I have to hit it quite hard. Tell you what, that's going to take some beating. Okay, second one with the 5-wood. bouncing a bit. It's still up there. Still up there on the green. I think I already know which one's going to win. Last one. Okay. You want to concede now, Mr. Lob Wedge? Alright. So, now with the log wedge, a couple of things in our favour. We're into the breeze just a little bit. And that's about it, really. That's the only thing in our favour. First one with the log wedge. I've hit a really nice shot there, but it's still not inside 2 of the 5 wood. Second one with the log wedge. Again, really nice shot. Still don't think it's inside the 5 woods. Back, had to stop to shut the phone off. But this is we haven't hit any more shots. All the balls are still there. So this is the last one with the lob wedge. I think it's still in with a chance. If this is a real good one, it's still in with a chance of winning. Oh, good strike, but pushed it. Right, let's go have a look. Let's go take a look and see which one's done the business. Okay, so walking onto the green. Furthest away is a 5 wood. Okay. This one's a wedge. Closest is a 5 wood. That one's a 5 wood. So that one, this one, and this one are the 5 woods. Now I'd find that one I'd reckon I'd hold pretty much all the time. This one I'd hold a lot of the time. And this one here's a chance, I guess. So if we say 50% of the time, I probably would have got up and down there with a 5 wood. So the 3 wedge shots are all pretty similar distances. We're all looking at 8, 10 feet. One of them's a little bit long, one's a little bit short, one's a little bit right. But I would say overall, given the nature of the shot and the risk involved with hitting wedge, like if I mishit that ever so slightly, I'm going to come up short of this bank here. I'm not going to make it onto the green. If I take it a little bit clean, there's a lake just over the green there. Could run off into that lake. So given the risks involved with hitting a wedge and the outcomes I got with a 5 wood, I think 5 wood's definitely a clear winner there. Side note, come over here. Come over here. Take a look at that moon. It's just come up. How could you not love golf? Being out here